We were discussing chapter number 9, it is biomolecule. In this biomolecule we have discussed proteins, nucleic acids, carbohydrates and fat. Now today we have to discuss another organic biomolecule that you can find in a living organism, and that is the important one, that is enzymes. Okay, so today we are going to start with another biomolecule, and that can be called as enzymes. Clear? So what are the enzymes? What are their roles? So let's see what the chemically these enzymes are. The enzymes, they are made up of proteins. What they are? They are made up of proteins. Remember, most of the enzymes, you can say that more than 90% of the enzymes, they are made up of a protein. But I will tell you the exception. That this is an exception. It is ribozyme. Ribozyme. This ribozyme is made up of nucleic acid. This is an enzyme. It is an exception, made up of nucleic acid. Okay, which nucleic acid it is made up of? It is made up of a nucleic acid, RNA, ribonucleic acid. Okay, this is an exception, the ribozyme. It is an enzyme. Ribozyme is an enzyme that is made up of a nucleic acid. Clear? Otherwise, most of the enzymes are protein in nature. Okay, that means they are made up of amino acids. Now, what is the function of these enzymes? What is the role of these enzymes? The enzyme, they speed up the chemical reactions. They speed up the chemical reactions which happens in our body. This is a function of this enzyme. They are acting as catalysis, or you can say a catalyst. Okay, they catalyze the reaction, the chemical reaction, biochemical reactions. They act as a catalyst and increases the speed of the reaction, or increases the rate of biochemical reaction. Okay, so this is the main function of the enzymes. Okay, this enzyme, if you see the structure wise, you know that this is a protein, so it has a structure like primary structure, secondary structure, tertiary structure, etc. But when you observe the tertiary structure of an enzyme, it forms a particular site, what we call it as active site. What it is called as active site. This active site, they are the pockets which are found in the structure, or the crevices which are present in structure of protein. This active site has a main important role in a catalysis. They are the pockets or the crevices which are going to be formed, okay, in the structure of a protein. They are called as an active site. To this active site, the substrate molecule that combines and it catalyzes the reaction. So this is an active site that is present in the structure of an enzyme. So I again repeat, what are the enzymes? Enzymes, they are made up of proteins. Okay, most of the enzymes are made up of a protein, but there is also exception. This is called as a ribozyme. The ribozyme is made up of a nucleic acid, what we call it as RNA. What is the role or what is the function of this enzyme? The role and the function of enzyme is that it increases the velocity of reaction or increases the speed of a chemical reaction. This is the function or the role of an enzyme. This enzyme, if you see the structurally, particularly if you observe the tertiary structure of an enzyme, okay, or the tertiary structure of a protein, okay, then you can find the active site in the structure of an enzyme. What is this active site? This is the pockets or the crevices, they are going to be formed in the tertiary structure of this enzyme, and where a substrate molecule can combine, and they are responsible for increasing the rate of reactions. Okay, so this is what we call it as an enzyme. Now you know that they are increases the rate of reaction, chemical reactions. So let's understand what kind of the chemical reactions are there and what we can say that. So if you see the reactions, I'm just saying the reactions. So in the chemical, and there are two ways in which a changes takes place. First is called as a physical changes and the second one is called as a chemical changes takes place. Okay, there are two types of the changes that takes place during the reactions. One is a physical changes and the second type is a chemical changes. Okay, in the physical changes, what the physical changes includes? The physical changes includes a change in a shape, a shape of a molecule or the chemical. This is a physical changes, one of the physical change. Next, a change in a state of a chemical, like the water gets converted to you can say that the vapor. Okay, so the state gets changed. Water is a liquid form, the vapor is in a gas form. Okay, so here the liquid form gets converted to a gas form. So there is a change in a state of a molecule. There are two kind of a changes takes place in a physical changes in a reaction. First is a change in a shape, okay, and the second is change in a state. Okay, so these are called as the physical changes or the physical reactions what takes place. But actually we are talking about the chemical changes or the chemical reactions. So what happens during the chemical reactions? In chemical reaction there is a breakage of bond, okay, or the formation of new bond. These are the two important steps takes place. A breakage of bond or the formation of bond between the atoms and the molecules. This what happens in the reactions, and this type of reactions are called as chemical reactions. What they are called? They are called as a chemical reaction. So the reaction, there are two kind of a changes takes place, physical and the chemical. We mostly focus on the chemical changes that takes place, okay, where the breakage of bond and the formation of bond takes place. Okay, now you know that the function of this is the function of an enzyme that increases or speed up the chemical reaction. Increases this process, the rate of this chemical reaction then gets increased. So how the rate can be measured? The rate of chemical reaction can be measured by this equation, delta P by delta T. This is the equation. A rate of any chemical reaction can be measured by an equation, delta P by delta T. Okay, so what is the delta P or by delta T, or how would you define the rate? Rate, that means the change in the product or the formation in a product per unit time. This is called as a rate of a reaction or rate of a chemical reaction. So how we can define the rate of a chemical reaction? The rate of chemical reaction is the formation of product per unit time. The P indicates the product, T indicates a time. Okay, so per unit time, how much product is formed, that is called as a rate. And this rate can also be called as velocity. It's called as velocity if the direction of reaction is defined. When it is defined, then you can also call it as velocity. And in enzymatic reactions, the direction of a reaction is defined, so you can also call it as velocity. Clear? So what is the role of an enzyme? The enzyme that increases or that speed up the velocity of a chemical reactions that is happening in our body. Okay, and that's why it is necessary. Like you know that, like for an example, I will tell you the two examples. One example that is occurring without an enzyme, and the another example that occurs in presence of enzyme. So I will tell you how the process is going to occur. So let's see how the process is going to occur. Now all of you know that the enzymes are responsible for increasing the rate or increasing the velocity of a reaction. So let us see the reactions that occurs in absence of enzyme and in presence of enzyme. First I will tell you in absence of enzyme. In absence of enzyme. And I will show you the same reaction in presence of enzyme. You know that the CO2 that is present or generated in our body, it is a waste material that reacts with the water, because you know that the water is present in abundant quantity in our body. Okay, our body or any living organism contains a good quantity of water. So the CO2 that is generated in our body and the water, they react together and forms H2CO3, that is what we call it as carbonic acid. This is the carbonic acids are going to be formed. Assume that this reaction occurs in absence of enzyme, without enzyme. Then what happens? Here only 200 molecules of H2CO3, this is a product, 200 molecules of H2CO3 are produced per hour. In 1 hour only it produces 200 molecules. Now assume another condition, that if this reaction which occurs in presence of enzyme, then see what is going to happen. In presence of enzyme, the same reaction takes place. That's CO2 plus H2O, that gives H2CO3. Now here it occurs in presence of enzyme, so I am telling you the name of enzyme that is present in the cytoplasm of RBC. Okay, here the enzyme which is responsible for catalyzing this reaction is present in the cytoplasm of RBC, erythrocyte. So what is the name of enzyme? Here the name of enzyme is carbonic anhydrase. Okay, so this is a carbonic anhydrase, H2CO3. So if this process occurs in the presence of enzyme, then it generates 6 lakhs molecule per second. Okay, per second, if the enzyme is present per second, it generates a 6 lakh molecule of H2CO3. But if it occurs in absence of enzyme, it generates just the 200 molecules, and even in higher time, that is per hour. Here 6 lakh molecules are produced in per second, and in absence of enzyme, only 200 molecules are produced in hour. So you can see that how much fast the reaction occurs in presence of an enzyme, because that increases the speed and the rate of reactions. That is what going to happen. Okay, here you can see that here the rate of reaction has been increased 10 million times. How much time? 10 million times. Okay, I hope you know that 1 million is 10 million times reaction rate has been increased. Okay, 10 million times. Okay, 1 million is equal to 10 lakh. So 10 million, you can assume that it is a 1 crore. 1 crore times the rate of reaction has been increased. And that is possible due to the enzyme. And that's why these enzymes are important or necessary in our body. Because in our body, as we have discussed in the previous session, it is like a heavy traffic junctions. The lots of biochemical reactions are happening continuously at a time. Okay, and it should occur at a speed. And who increases the speed? These enzymes are responsible for increasing the speed of a biochemical reactions. So now you can understand how this is going to be formed. Okay, so this is an introduction. What is a rate? Rate means the product that is formed per unit time. The rate can also be called as velocity if the direction has been specified. In absence of enzyme, if the reaction occurs, the molecules which are going to be formed are the low in numbers, or the rate of reaction is low. But if the same thing happens in the presence of enzyme, that the reaction rate is very high. Thus the enzyme can act as a catalyst. They can act as a catalyst which speed up the rate of reaction, or they increases the rate of reaction. Clear? Now same thing happens over here. Okay, like for an example, like I will also tell you, we are also doing the chemical reactions in the chemistry laboratory. Now what is the difference between the chemical reactions that is happening into a chemistry laboratory and the chemical reactions which happens in our body? Clear? So if you see the chemical reactions which are happening into a chemistry laboratory, it also need a catalyst. Okay, they need a catalyst. Okay, and these catalysts are the inorganic or the organic catalyst. Okay, the reactions which are happening into a chemistry laboratory, okay, that requires an inorganic or organic catalyst. Okay, This catalyst increases the rate of reaction in chemistry laboratory. Similarly, the same function has been performed by enzymes in our body. They also act as a catalyst and increases the rate of reaction. But what is the difference between the catalyst that is present in the laboratory and the catalyst that is present in our body? Okay. So here the catalyst which is present in our body, that is denatured or it's degraded by the higher temperature and higher pressure. But the catalysts that are present in the laboratory, they are not degraded by higher pressure and higher temperature. So the one thing is that one of the property of this enzyme, that enzymes gets denatured means its structure gets altered. If its structure gets altered, the active site also gets changed. If active site gets changed, it cannot perform its function. So the enzyme gets denatured at high temperature and high pressure. Okay, its structure gets altered at high temperature. Usually when we provide a temperature more than 40 degrees Celsius, okay, when the temperature is provided more than 40 degrees Celsius, these enzymes gets denatured. Its structure gets altered and cannot perform the functions. Whereas the catalyst in laboratory can withstand, means they remain as such with, or you can say at high temperature and high pressure. Nothing will happen to them. Okay, when we provide the higher temperature and higher pressure to a catalyst, what we found in the chemistry laboratory. So this is a difference. This is a catalyst, what is found in a living organism. This is a catalyst, what we found in the chemistry laboratory. The catalyst, what we found in the living organism, what we call it as enzymes, they gets denatured, degraded at a higher temperature and pressures. Usually above the 40 degrees Celsius, they gets a denatured. And the catalyst that can find into a chemistry laboratory, that can withstand with this higher temperature and the pressure. Okay, so this is a difference between the biological catalyst and the chemical catalyst what we have. Okay, now I have already told you that the enzyme gets denatured at high temperature, like more than 40 degrees Celsius. If you provide, then it gets denatured. It's correct. It is true in most of the cases, and that's why, suppose I tell you one example. Suppose you may suffer from a fever. You have a high temperature. In a fever, you know that the body temperature gets increased. And when the body temperature gets increased, you feel that you don't have any kind of a hunger. You doesn't like to eat. Okay? ભૂખ આપણી જે ખરી ઓછી લાગે કે ભૂખ મરી ગઈ હોય કે ખાવાની ઈચ્છા બી ના થાય. એક સિમ્પલ તાવ આવે તો બરાબર છે. કેમ એવું થાય છે? Because when there is an increase in a temperature, the enzyme gets denatured. So the enzyme that is present in our stomach, pepsin and trypsin, they are not able to digest the food. Okay, they don't work, and the hunger that is going to be it is a problem which occurs in the fever. Okay, but there are few exceptions. There are certain organisms in which you can find the enzymes which can even withstand with a higher temperature. Generally they are denatured at the temperature above 40 degrees Celsius. But the organisms which are found in hot springs, or sorry, living organisms from hot spring, or you can say a vents and sulfur spring. Sulfur spring એટલે તમે કદાચ જોયા હશે, it has some religious values. બરાબર છે? Clear? ગરમ પાણીના કુંડ. This is the sulfur springs. Okay? They are rich in sulfur, so we are calling them sulfur spring. Okay? They are living organisms which are present from hot spring or vent or the sulfur spring. The enzyme present in them, even they can withstand with 80 to 90 degrees Celsius. But this is an exception. This is a exception. Otherwise, at higher temperatures, At higher temperature, the enzyme gets denatured. Enzyme gets denatured. Clear? So this is what happens in the enzymatic reactions. Okay. Now we will learn that how the enzyme or the enzymes are capable of increasing the rate of reaction. So let's discuss how they are capable of increasing the rate of reaction. From the discussion what we have done till, from that we are able to understand that enzymes, they are capable of increasing the rate of reaction. Okay? But how? How they increases the rate of reaction? How they increases the speed of biochemical reaction? So let's see. See, before understanding this, how it occurs, you should know the basic thing. This is a substrate. Substrate is a chemical on which the enzyme acts. What is a substrate? Remember, substrate is a compound or chemical on which enzyme acts. So the substrate on which the enzyme acts. The S denote for substrate, and the E denotes for enzyme. Now what happens to this? S plus E, it forms SE, or you can say that ES. This is very easy for you. ES. This is called as enzyme substrate complex. What it is called? Enzyme substrate complex. Next, after that, what is going to be formed? EP. That what we call it as enzyme product. P means product complex. And finally from this, E plus P, that is going to be formed. E is an enzyme and the P is a product that is going to be formed. This is how the chemical reaction occurs. So how that occurs, I explain it. The substrate, it binds with the active site of enzyme. The active site is present in the enzyme. I again repeat, the substrate that binds with the active site of an enzyme. And what it forms? It forms enzyme substrate complex. Once the enzyme substrate complex is going to be formed, it converts to an enzyme product complex. This enzyme product complex gets separated. Enzyme gets liberated and product gets liberated. Thus from substrate, what is going to be formed? The product is going to be formed. And at the end of reaction, the enzyme remains as such. Enzyme which is utilized for catalyzing one more chemical, that is again utilized to do a reactions of substrate. So enzymes, remember one thing, enzyme, they speed the rate of reaction, they involve in reactions or biochemical reaction, but they don't utilize during the reaction. They don't utilize. At the end of reaction, the enzyme remains as such. Enzyme reaction કરવામાં helpful થાય છે પણ reactions માં વપરાઈ નથી થતો. It is not utilized in the chemical reaction. It remains as such at the end of reaction, which is again used to catalyze one more substrate molecule. Okay, so this is what is going to be occurs with an enzyme. Now, when this process occurs, enzyme substrate complex converts to an enzyme product complex. Okay, so if you draw the graph of this conversion, this is assume that this is a substrate. Now this substrate converts to a product. This is a product which is going to be formed. Okay, this is a potential energy. You can say that the progression of reaction, and this is an energy on the y-axis. Usually it's a potential energy. By a reaction, the substrate gets converted to a product. So it needs some kind of energy, and this is known as activation energy. What we are calling it as activation energy. By activation energy, the substrate gets converted to a product. But when the enzyme is present, the activation energy that is required is a low. You can see that how much activation energy is required. In presence of enzyme, very low energy is required. So at the low energy, the reaction can proceed. So that's why they increases the rate of reaction. Okay. So how the enzyme substrate complex they lowers activation energy needed in biochemical reaction, and thus at a lower energy even the chemical reaction can happen, and thus the rate of reaction gets increased. That occurs in a multiple step. So I will explain you how this step occurs. Enzyme, it binds with the substrate. Okay, the substrate binds with the weak side of an enzyme, active site. Now it becomes a closer one and forms an enzyme substrate complex. Once the complex is going to be formed, a certain changes or the bond formation and bond breakage that occurs, and that is converted to an enzyme product complex. An enzyme product complex gets released, or they are liberated enzyme in the product, and this enzyme is going to be utilized to catalyze one more substrate molecule. So this is a mechanism. This is how the process occurs. The enzyme substrate complex or the enzyme, they lowers the activation energy. The yellow color indicates that this is the activation energy in presence of enzyme, and this orange color indicates that the activation energy in the absence of enzyme. So in absence of enzyme, this much energy required to catalyze a reaction, but in presence of enzyme only this much energy is required. So lower energy is required, and thus that increases the speed of reaction. Okay, so this is how the enzyme works, and what is the mechanism by which the substrate converts to a product with the help of enzyme. Okay, so this is about enzymes, what we have discussed today. So today what we have discussed the general introduction of enzyme. We have discussed the rate of reaction. Now we have also discussed that the reaction which occurs in presence of enzyme and the absence of enzyme, what is the difference between them. Okay, and you can able to come to know that how fast the reaction occurs in the presence of enzyme. Like 6 lakh molecules of carbonic acid are produced in 1 second compared to 200 molecules of carbonic acids are produced in 1 hour. Okay, so the 10 million times the rate reaction increases in that reaction. Okay, here we have also seen how it increases the rate of reaction by lowering the activation energy needed in reaction, and we have also discussed the mechanism how the process occurs. Okay, so this is about the nature, how the reaction occurs, and the introduction of an enzyme. In the next session we will learn what are the factors they affecting the enzyme activity, that we will discuss in the next session. Okay, so till then students, keep learning, keep watching, like and subscribe this channel. Thank you for watching.